Good morning. What a beautiful day. I can't believe it after yesterday and the last month of trying to get this project done. We've had snow, rain, 60, 70 mile an hour winds on the top of the mountain. But here we are, blessed with this beautiful, beautiful, picture-perfect New Mexico day. And you're going to think I'm losing my marbles, but it is May 7th, 1966.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Sandia Peak Tram. Flight number 1 is now departing.
Fast forward 50 years, 2.5 million miles traveled, 2.7 miles at a time, equivalent to 10 and a half trips to the moon, 11 million passengers carried, flight 4,951 is preparing for departure. This morning we reflect on the tram's beginnings and history. Tramcar set number 2 rest before us or behind you. Upon Mother Earth, after carrying 7.7 million passengers, as I said, this is the second set of cars. The Bernalillo County Sheriff's Posse has returned after 50 years. They were here with us in 1966. Thank you. Sheriffs Justin Dunlap, Matt Galumbe, and Manuel Gonzalez, thank you very much. We have a newly resurfaced Tramway road, complete with bike lanes that you all traversed today to come to this event. Thank you, Bernalillo County, the state of New Mexico. With us today are Commissioners Lonnie Talbert, Wayne Johnson, and I believe Maggie Hart-Stebbins. State Senators and Representatives Bill Ream, Bill Payne, and Mark Moores. And of course, we have our Governor Susana Martinez with us. Others that help, State Senate and House members John Ryan, Larry Larinaga, Jim Dines, Conrad James, Nate Gentry, and Monica Youngblood. Thank you for the improved gateway to the Tramway for the next 50 years. Also with us today from the tourism industry, Tanya Armenta with the ACVB, our new CEO, Secretary Rebecca Latham with the State Tourism Department, Jen Schroer with New Mexico Hospitality, and Ernie C. DeBaca from the Hispano Chamber. Thank you. So how do we actually pull this off? I had nothing to do with it. Gathered today, we have staff, shareholders, directors, family, loyal supporters. We welcome all of you this May 7th, 2016. I got the date right now. We are here today to celebrate not only because we have been blessed, but because 2 tenacious individuals, Robert Nordhaus, the visionary, and Ben Abruzzo, the fireball, somehow conceived, financed, and built the world's longest tram in the world with little or no money in Albuquerque, New Mexico. You can't make that up. As part of the financing, they issued stock to contractors and subcontractors, otherwise they wouldn't have got paid, of which some of the descendants are here with us today. We will revisit Bob and Ben's legacy a little later in the program. We have our tram staff many of them, the ones that aren't working or in the cabins or on top, here with us today. They make it all possible. Thank you. I want to thank all of our staff from all of our affiliated companies, which of them are also here today and go the extra mile every day in the workplace. The tram staff, gift shop, administrative office, Sandiago's all stepped up to help pull this off today. And of course, it would not be possible without George Boyden, our tram manager, Jay Blackwood, our assistant manager, Debbie Owen, our communications director, and Carla Zager, my assistant, that keeps me going the right direction sometimes. The tram staff, maintenance staff, are you guys on the deck also? Where are we at? They're up there too. I was going to have them hanging from the cables, but didn't want to distract from the new car. Cal, the two Clays, Robert, Jeremy, and Dr. Dave Kohler, along with George Boyden. This wouldn't be possible. They've been working day and night. They were here last night. All the test runs have been done. It's safe. I won't be on the first car. I will be on the second car. I've never gotten to ride the first car, neither has Benny. I don't know how that works, but the new cars were designed and manufactured in Olten, Switzerland, and travel by truck on mountain highways, were shipped across the Atlantic, and trucked from Houston to Albuquerque. We have with us today Rico Werrell and Jackie Kiefer from Switzerland, who handled the ordering, design, along with us, and the shipping of the new cars. And Rico was doing the cowbell, the Swiss cowbell earlier. But thank you for coming here today. The cars were stored, graphics added, all new controls installed, then attached to the A-frames, all while being cloaked for this event. No one, including me, has actually seen the finished, we're seeing it as we speak, the finished product, all put together and all unveiled until momentarily. We only hope you will be as happy and surprised and elated when we unveil these new cars, and that you once again adopt these cars as part of Albuquerque and New Mexico's image for decades to come. If Devin Taribo, one of our staff, is a ZIA tribal member, would step forward, and Brent Schultz, Lieutenant Governor with the ZIA, both of you guys, come on up here for a moment. We can hook tram cars on, make them go, but we couldn't figure out how to stick a check on to cover up the ZIA. That's okay. The Velcro didn't work right. Anyway, Brent, if you'd like to just make a few comments, and then we'll move on to with Devin presenting a special gift to the mayor and governor in a moment. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Brent Schultz. I'm the Lieutenant Governor for the Pueblo of ZIA, and it is a very special event that is going on here. Everybody knows what's going on with the sun symbol. Governor Martinez, thank you so much for being our governor and representing New Mexico. And the sun symbol is very sacred to the Pueblo of ZIA. It does hold a significant cultural aspect, and God only knows, our elders know of how long the sun symbol was used spiritually. And as a matter of fact, I even ponder on that. When did that significance derive? When did man derive? When did the English language start? So on and so forth. So it's only a question in my mind, and we still practice our traditional doings with the sun symbol. But on top of that too, I just would like to go there and give thanks to Governor Martinez again, and Mr. Abruzzo and everybody that made this possible. And as a matter of fact, I hope everybody enjoys the sun symbol as well. Along with that too, it is a very nice honor to be here, only for the fact that they asked permission to use our sun symbol. Even Bernie Sanders did the same thing too. So we feel the burn there in Zio Pueblo. Yeah, so I'd just like to go there and close with a prayer, and hope the sun finds you all with great spirit and good health and prosperity from years to come. And may your pathways be lit up with our sun, with joy and happiness and love. And thank you so much, and once again, thank you all. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
It's our 50th anniversary. Our group, board of directors, thought it would be fitting to do this. The only thing I had to do with it is I came up with a check. Anyway, we would like to present this check to the community of New Mexico and Albuquerque, to the governor and mayor, Governor Suzanne Martinez, Mayor R.J. Berry, and I don't know what else to say. You can't read it from here. It's $50,000 that will be donated to New Mexico and Albuquerque charities over the coming anniversary year. Okay, it's time. We're going to reveal the car, and then we're going to hear from our wonderful governor and mayor. I hope this works. Well, I think it speaks for itself. In the past, we've had Sandia Peak, it's right behind you, plastered all over the car, front and back. Going into the future, we owe so much to the community and the state and all their efforts, so we changed it up a bit. So I hope you like it. Let me do the quick intro and get the governor up here and you can listen to somebody else. I would like to introduce our very own nationally recognized Governor Suzanne Martinez. She was named by Time magazine as one of the 100 most influential people in the world in 2013. The governor's brought accountability and fiscal responsibility back to New Mexico while increasing and promoting tourism at a time when our natural resource economy and other parts of our economy have been faltering due to world influences. Tourism is New Mexico is at an all-time high, and bringing outside dollars to our economy is very important. Governor Martinez visits all quadrants of the state and even gets out for a little skiing from time to time. The governor, along with First Gentleman Chuck and her sister Letty, will be riding one of the new trips today. Please welcome our wonderful Governor Suzanne Martinez.
Thanks, Louis. Well, thank you all for being here today. Thank you, Louis, and your amazing family for all that you do for tourism. I also want to just take a moment to thank all New Mexicans for keeping Ashlyn, Mike, and her amazing family in your hearts and prayers. Yesterday was a very difficult day for them, but they really do feel the amazing support of all New Mexicans and really around the world that they have been communicated with, and their prayers are with the family. So thank you so very much for doing that. Well, 50 years ago today was the Sandia Peak Tramway's first day of operation. Now think about it. It was May 1966, a Monday. Monday was at the top of the charts. LBJ was president, and Neil Armstrong's moonwalk was still 3 years away. And it wasn't easy. It was an engineering feat recognized around the world, bringing together engineers, geologists, and other experts from across the globe. After 2 years of planning and another 2 years of construction, it was finally complete. Since then, it's become an important part of New Mexico tourism. On average, more than 250,000 people visit the tram each single year. That's 10,500 trips up and down every year, and safely done. And just a short few weeks ago, ridership passed the 11 million mark. That's 11 million people who have experienced the unique beauty our state has to offer. And I remember taking this first trip a long time ago when I went up with my husband. We were first starting to date, and I knew there was a restaurant at the top that I hadn't had an opportunity to go to. And I ordered escargot and artichokes. And he said, "What's that?" And I said, "I'm not telling you until you've eaten it. And then I'll tell you if you like it, I'll tell you, and if you didn't, I won't tell you." We have ordered those over and over again. So, what does tourism mean, of course, to our economy? Last year, 32.7 million visitors traveled to New Mexico, injecting $6.1 billion into our economy. Tourism continues to break records, helping us grow, and growth is key to our state's future. It creates jobs, and it creates the ability to have those jobs in hotels and restaurants and gift shops and all kinds of shops where our tourists travel. Tourism is helping people across the country discover New Mexico as a place to go to college, to come and move here, to live, or to retire. That's why investments in tourism are investments in our economy. That's one of the reasons I'm so proud to be here today, to see the Sandia Peak Tramway making an investment to continue to grow and be successful. Now, Letty wasn't able to join us, so Louis, you can come up on the first ride with us. The team is in its third year of year-over-year increases in visitors, and we're all excited to see that continue. The tram has become an essential place of our tourism industry. For Albuquerque, it's become a must-do activity when you visit. All of us tell our relatives and friends when they come, this is one of those special things and special trips you need to take. It appeals to visitors young and old, those who are ready for adventure, those who just want a break from the summer heat, and so much more. And as in New Mexico, wait 15 minutes and the weather will change. It's a small place where you can feel big and small. Small because when you stand at the top and see 11,000 square miles of stunning New Mexico landscape, and big when you feel like you're the king at the top of the world. It is a place where you can have an experience like no other. That feel, actually it feeds the soul. When you're going up there and seeing all the wildlife and the bikers that are going through on the bikes, the trails and the hikers, I mean, it really is an amazing way to get out into, what is nature, what is absolutely right here in the heart of Albuquerque. And today, as the Sandia Peak Tramway celebrates 50 successful years, I wish you 50 more and many more after that. I know this will be a landmark that New Mexico will continue to use and experience and share with the rest of the world. God bless you with all you do and much success to you.
Whoa. Okay, that was wonderful, Governor Martinez, thank you. Next, oh yes, we have a nice little gift basket with some nice brand new 50th anniversary goodies.
Letty will love it.
Awesome. Next, Mayor Richard J. Berry was sworn into office on December 1st, 2009. Prior to serving as Albuquerque's chief executive officer, he was twice elected to our New Mexico state legislature. Mayor Berry is a people's mayor and one with foresight to improve our community and move it forward. He earned his degree in finance and administration at the University of New Mexico and was a letterman on the Lobo track and field team, specializing in the decathlon. Our late brother Richard Abruzzo and his wife Nancy and Rico are here with us today. Mary Pat, who I went and watched in the state tennis tournament the day before yesterday, is playing this morning, so she cannot be with us. Our late brother Richard was a college mate in the Anderson Business School with Mayor Berry, and the two of them enjoyed snow and water skiing together. And I'm not sure if it was enjoyable, but they did ski together. I'll leave that up to Mayor Berry, RJ. The mayor, along with his wife Maria, are true champions for promoting and advancing Albuquerque. Mayor?
Yeah, we'll move it up. Good morning. What a beautiful day. Are we blessed? This is fantastic. When I moved here in 1982, I drove in an old Cutlass Supreme with a pole vault pole duct taped to the roof, and I stayed at the Highway House Motel on Central Avenue. And I was here for a recruiting trip to be a Lobo track and field guy, and the coach did two things. He took me to the Cooperage for lunch, and we rode the tram. And I was done. And this wonderful world-class facility has woven its way through my life from the time I was 19 years old to today. And with this investment that you're making, Louis and Ben and all the investors here, this means that my son Jacob and his kids can continue to enjoy one of the things that makes this a very, very special place. And we are a very, very special place. Albuquerque is like no other. And part of that, the reason for that is because of our natural beauty, certainly. And to be able to ride the tram and see our place from the unique viewpoint of one of the cars and from the top of Sandia Peak, I think really highlights everything that we have from the natural resource standpoint. Well, what really highlights us as well is this facility and what it took to get it done. I mean, you think about the tram. This is about gumption, right? This is about figuring something out, engineering. When guys sat down early on and started penciling this thing, I can only imagine how many beers it took them to convince themselves they could do this. But they did it. They did it, and it put us on the world map, and it continues to do that each and every day. We use this tram to celebrate with our families. As the governor said, nobody comes to town without getting an offer to ride the tram. We use it from an economic development standpoint. Even when I was a student athlete, we'd bring other student athletes up here to recruit them. We bring business people up here to recruit them. When people come to Albuquerque for the very specific reason of riding the tram, they're staying at our hotels, they're eating at our restaurants, they're shopping at our shops. But they're really seeing the spirit of our place. They're seeing all of the things that we've been blessed with, and they're getting a chance to do what we do every day, experience Albuquerque, New Mexico, in a way that they just couldn't if it wasn't here. So a big thank you to everybody that makes this happen. All these folks up here, everybody wearing steel-toed boots and a pair of blue jeans, I want to say a special thank you to them. Let's give them a big round of applause. It just takes so many people to make this work, and I'm just going to end with this. And I'm just going to say I know that my friend Richard wishes he was here today, and we wish Richard was here today. Let's just take a moment of silence for Richard Abruzzo. Now let me say what it was like to ski with Richard Abruzzo. So this is what skiing with Richard Abruzzo is like. So I grew up in Nebraska. I'd never been on skis in my life. I was a student athlete. We weren't allowed to ski because we're on scholarship and they didn't want you to, whatever. So the first time I could sneak away, we ended up on Al's Run. With Garth, I think Garth Sonnenberg was there as well and some others. And I got a pair of these, I don't know, he got me on a pair of skis about, 6 inches taller than my head, and we just get up to the top of Al's Run, and we one of these, right? And so then you start going down, and long story short, that's why I snowboard today. Richard Abruzzo made me a snowboarder. So anyway, but yeah, Richard and I used to go out. We'd go to Santa Rosa. He taught me how to barefoot water ski. I was a water skier all my life, but I didn't have a boat fast enough to do that, and he taught me how to do that. We just had wonderful times. Maria, your first lady, we all went to school together. She was friends with Richard as well. So I just want to, there's a special spot in my heart for this facility because of my relationship with Richard. But I just want to thank everybody involved for making this a special day. Congratulations to the Abruzzo family for generations of leadership and investment in our community. Congratulations. Yes, let's give them a big round. Most of all, congratulations to Albuquerque. This is your place, and it's now on a path to be here for decades to come. And we're very proud, and we're very humbled, and we're very grateful. So thank you. God bless, and have a great day.
Oh, we have a...
There we go. I was a pole vaulter too, but only through 9th grade and gymnastics after that. Small world. Okay, we got your gift basket. Benny, would you come up and join us? As most of you know, Benny's my younger brother by 3 years that looks 3 years older, but that's okay. Just kidding.
At least I'm taller.
Okay. Benny's going to introduce our Forest Service District Ranger, Crystal Powell. And we'll go on with that. Without Forest Service partnership, we wouldn't be here.
None of this would be possible without the vision and support of the Cibola National Forest and its awesome staff. For more than 50 years, we've enjoyed a great relationship and shared a common vision for the beautiful Sandia Mountains. I personally have worked with the Forest Service for over 35 years, and I can tell you I've made great friends, great inroads. There's a lot of them I stay in touch with today, and they all had a vision of the Sandia Mountains being an important part of this wonderful city of Albuquerque and the great surrounding communities. The backside of the mountain has its heart and soul in the Sandia Mountains. We're standing on the west side today, but the other side, that little ski area we have over there, is pretty cool too. Over the years, we have seen numerous forest supervisors and district rangers come and go, but they have all shared a sincere understanding of the importance of the role that the Sandia Mountains and Sandy Peak Tramway play in Albuquerque and the surrounding communities. Our current supervisor, Elaine Corman, is no exception and has been a great supporter of the revitalization of the Sandy Peak Tram. Two things have happened. One, we have completely redone the upper terminal of the tram that, as Louis said, was akin to a mobile home. And now we have a new, beautiful state-of-the-art visitor center up there, and Elaine had a great deal to do with that, and so did Sid Morgan. We have now put on these beautiful new tram cars, and that's just the start. We're hopeful that we will see a brand new beautiful restaurant on top of the mountain within the next 2 years. Our target date is opening May of 18, and we're looking, and I'm sure you've all seen it on the news, at putting a mountain coaster on that side of the mountain. Not down the front, sorry for the ones that really want the big ride. But it would be an incredible enhancement to our beautiful little ski at Sandia Peak. Crystal Powell, our current district ranger, is the newest member of the Sealand National Forest team and joined our community in February of this year. Crystal brings a great book of knowledge from her past service in Kentucky, California, Colorado, and North Carolina over the past 16 years. Already, she is very involved in the planning and review process for all of our projects, and I think she's already fallen in love with New Mexico. Is that a fair bet? Oh, yeah. It would be great if Crystal could come up and say a few words on behalf of our wonderful Sealand National Forest.
So good afternoon, and it's a privilege to be here with all of you and looking up at these beautiful Sandia Mountains and at the new car behind us. As Benny said, my name is Crystal Powell. I'm the new ranger. I've only been here for a few months, but the Sandias are part of our district, and they became part of our national forest in 1908, almost 100 years ago. These mountains have a rich history. They've been a source of food, shelter, clean water, firewood, and other sustenance for thousands of years. And today, the Sandias will continue to be important to the city of Albuquerque and all of our surrounding communities, our tribes, our land grants, and our villages. For their natural, cultural, and recreational opportunities. Today we're celebrating part of that history, 50 years with the Sandia Tram Company. For 50 years, the Sandia Company has served as good stewards of our public lands. Their ongoing relationship between the Forest Service and the Tram Company has been an outstanding example of shared stewardship between a private company and a federal land management agency. All of us here today demonstrates that success. The Sandias are the most visited mountains in New Mexico, and our Forest Service records indicate that millions of people visit the Sandias annually, and the numbers continue to grow. Half of these visitors ride the Sandia Peak Tram to take in the panoramic views, access to year-round recreation, and a great dinner at above 10,000 feet. The tram ride itself offers a friendly guide full of information and a view of the rugged Sandias that you might only experience from a small plane or a helicopter. The tram provides a unique opportunity for visitors of all ages and all abilities to access and experience their public lands and these beautiful Sandia Mountains. So happy 50th anniversary to the Sandia Peak Tram Company. Let's all continue to be good stewards of the Sandia Mountains for the next 50 years and beyond, so that along with all the numerous recreational opportunities of hiking, mountain biking, skiing, snowshoeing, these mountains will continue to provide a place of beauty, solace, and refuge to more than 700,000 people living in the Albuquerque metropolitan area, to visitors from other states and around the nations, and to our future generations. So, thank you. Congratulations.
Great. Okay, Dick Nordhaus, could you join us? I know he's out there. While Dick's coming to the podium here, Dick and his brothers and sister continue on as shareholders of Sandia Peak, and we're glad to have Dick representing his family here with us today. Robert J. Nordhaus was a lawyer, ski pioneer, lifelong New Mexican, born in Las Vegas, New Mexico territory. It was so far back. He graduated from Yale College with a degree in economics in 1931 and from Yale Law School in 1935. His time in the East introduced him to the sport of skiing. He joined the Army in 1941, helping to organize the 10th Mountain Division in Camp Hale, Colorado, a cadre that was trained specifically for mountain combat. In 1955, he established the law firm of Nordhaus and Moses. This is about the time he hired Ben Abruzzo to manage the ski area. Same time I was born. I think it was 1955. Nordhaus formed the Sandia Peak Ski and Tram Company in 1962 with his new partner, Ben Abruzzo. In 1994, Skiing Magazine named him as one of the top 16 founders of skiing in the entire United States. I personally referred to him as the visionary and knew him as a positive, encouraging advisor to these companies until his resignation from the boards of directors at age 90. At 90, he was still sharper than maybe all of us. On this day, we hereby dedicate tram car number 2, the red car, which will come down later right over the old red car, to Robert J. Nordhaus. Inside the cars are plaques dedicating these cars to Ben or Bob and Ben. Dick? And Dick, if you want to share a few thoughts of what your father would think of all this going on, you're welcome.
Well, my father served in the 10th Mountain Division, which were a bunch of skiers, many of whom went and founded essentially the ski industry in the United States after the war. Growing up, there was a kind of underlying theme to the development of the ski area and the use of the mountains. As I remember when my father told us when he was in Europe during the war, was exposed to tramways and came back and looked up at these mountains and started thinking, why don't we do that here? And I think this was a lifelong dream for him. I mean, certainly for most of my life. And I think he was very fortunate that he formed a partnership with Ben Abruzzo, because both of them shared the same passion for this project. And quite frankly, both of them were a little bit nuts, but they made it work. And I think it's really outstanding that this tramway has survived and prospered and will continue to prosper for many years to come, because I think, as many of the guests here have said, that this is really an asset for the city and the state. And I'm certainly very proud of what the tram company, my father, the Abruzzos, have done to build and maintain this facility. So thank you.
Congratulations.
See how I do with this. Dad. There would be no story to tell of Dad without knowing Mom. Like a lot of us here, we would be nothing without the love of our life and the blessing of family. For every great idea, action, adventure, or tale of the legacy that is Dad, Mom was there in love and support, often the difference between success and failure. History tells us that Dad could imagine the unimaginable, set his sights on the goal, and somehow always make it to the end. Bob and Dad built a skier in the desert, a tram on the edge of a town that no one knew. They found a place for us to live and have roots before anyone could see its beauty. Some might stop there and find contentment in the shadow of this wonderful mountain. Dad saw beyond the horizon and looked to the ocean to begin one of this century's greatest adventures. Even failure and nearly death never slowed his quest to cross not one, but two of the greatest oceans on earth. Why could Dad imagine the unimaginable? Why could Dad accomplish the improbable? Why could Dad build the foundation that we stand on today? Because he believed in the beauty of New Mexico. He believed in his family. He believed in his friends. He believed in the individuals that make all this run. And most of all, he believed in the human spirit and that anything is possible within each and every one of us. Mom, Dad, Mary Pat and Richard, Bug and Addie, and all of our fallen friends, we wish you were here to celebrate this wonderful 50th anniversary of the Sandia Peak Tram, an awesome tribute to the amazing people that made it all happen. Thank you very much.
This week, coincidentally, we had our annual meetings for all the companies. And the board of directors, which includes Bob Murphy, a current director, past president of this organization, still serves with us to this day. Anyway, it was resolved that the directors of Sandia Peak Tram Company hereby wish to recognize two 50-year employees who are now the managers at the Sandia Peak Tramway, George Boyden and Jay Blackwood. George Boyden started at the tram company prior to its completion in March of 1966, where his background knowledge in auto mechanics, electrical basics, math, and chemistry, as well as his experience with ski lifts and ropes, were put to good use. He worked with Adolf Zerbuchen, the head tram engineer with Bell Engineering during the break-in period of the tram, and took over much of the maintenance responsibilities after the Swiss crew went back to Switzerland. He became heavily involved in the national, and remains heavily involved in the national and international lift organizations, and remains active in the NSAA, National Ski Area Association, ANSI, which governs safety, OITAF, and NACS. George continues to serve as the general manager of the tramway. Jay Blackwood began his career for the company at the La Madera Ski Area. For those of you who weren't around back then, it was La Madera before it became Sandia Peak. He came to the tram 2 months before its opening in 1966. He may well have been the one that did the first announcement. We can't remember it that far back. Jay currently serves as the personnel manager, administration, trains the cabin operators, and oversees many duties here at the tram. He enjoys skiing, sailing, and photography. In fact, Jay has photographed every aspect of the tramway, the ski area, and the Sandia Mountains. His photographs have appeared in countless publications and campaign ads, including one for the Albuquerque Convention and Visitors Bureau. His photography is exhibited throughout the tram buildings and appears on our website and in numerous publications. The board and management of the tramway are grateful for their many years of service and wish to commend them both for their roles in making the Sandia Peak Tramway a great success. You want to say something, George or Jay?
Well, maybe like quite a few of the rest of you, but my family moved here in '55 and introduced us to the many cultures, the mountains, the outdoors, and this state of New Mexico, and all these different places I've been in the ropeway business, and since I still think Albuquerque and New Mexico is the best place to go and the only place you can get good red and green chili. My passion has been skiing, and a lot of the word out there in the ski industry is if you don't have ropeways to get to the top, it's called Nordic. So you can hoof out through the woods and spend a long time out there and have a good time as well. But we've stayed real active and up to date with all the ropeways and the codes and all the important parts of keeping this thing running all these years. I think we've done a pretty super job. Our really only nemesis is the weather, and we've seen a lot of that the last couple of weeks.
George, here's a very special little watch for your wrist with a little 50th memorabilia in the face. And then this is, I don't know, interesting. 2 VIP premium package seats to ZZ Top. There's a whole bunch of us around here that like ZZ Top. And I'm not gonna sing and I'm not gonna dance.
Jay?
I'd just like to echo what George said, and I'd like to thank the Nordhaus and Abruzzo family and the whole Sandia Peak organization for giving both George and I something to do for the last 50 years, and mostly keeping us out of trouble. And it's been, it doesn't seem like it's been about 50 years, but I don't see that it's not going to last for another 50 years. So I'd just like to thank everybody, and thanks everybody for coming today.
All right, Jay. Full of a 50th anniversary watch with the tram car on it. It's really cool. Have them show it to you. Being that Jay's a sailor, they didn't have any tickets to any sailing concerts, so my staff, I guess you call it origami? What do you call it when you fold up? It looks like a bunch of $50 bills for the 50th anniversary, so have fun, Jay. Believe it or not, we're about to launch. Okay. If we could get the county commissioners to join us. Wayne Johnson, Lonnie Talbert, who else is here? Okay, come on up. I know it's here. Okay, where's our great ribbon? Is that our ribbon? We're gonna bring it up here, untie it, or just set the standards up on the stage, I guess. Family members, family, you know who you are. Benny's son Benjamin, who now manages the ski areas, along with his father and his family. Giant scissors. Whoa. Okay, all of you should also have a toast glass, champagne. All right, we'll get to that in a moment. Got Tui, George's wife. Hi, Tui. All right, we got them all up here. Who wants to cut the thing?
Oh, look, we got a little guy right
All right.
there. Quiet.
Sounds good.
Right think it's appropriate. It would be the fourth generation.
Oh,
We're waiting for
hang
Henry.
on. Our father's sister, Marie Teresiano, worked at the tram for decades, Sandia Peak Ski Area for decades, and was on our board of directors for Sandia Peak for many, many years. Hi, Aunt Marie. Okay. And Aunt Terry. My father's other sister just flew in last night from Rockford, Illinois. Okay. I guess we hereby almost dedicate, because we still got to do the toast, our new Sandia Peak tram cars. So kids, cut the ribbon. Yay!